We did it. We made it. We're live.
Yay.
So,
Has my flip book finished?
who wants to give a recap?
Not me, I'm busy.
Of course.
I don't take notes.
Wait. We have a certain person watch the VOD. They can do it, right?
I took notes.
The punishment for not arriving. I'm showing your notes on stream right now.
Oh, I haven't finished the notes from the last session. I've got them
That
written
was
down,
me like 5
physically.
sessions ago.
Yeah.
We finally decided where we're going. Oh, and I do remember that we found out new information on the different characters because encouraged us to play 2 truths and 1 lie.
Yes.
To be fair, I did not take that technically.
I like that Nemi was asleep during that.
Yeah. Enjoyed the train ride. Slept like a baby. A baby in a taxi.
Pretty much went from Hiroga to Cardfort and back again.
Yeah,
on
that
the train,
is
didn't we?
That is pretty much what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And the only real place that you saw when you were there was the house that they all own now. That's currently empty, other than some trinkets now, and a barrel of gunpowder.
How hideous decorations.
Absolutely awful decorations.
Our garish bust of like this person in absolute agony.
Gorgeous.
Ollie, your description of removing the fleshy bits from the gold bits was nauseating.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. I mean, essentially what happened was after the events of the shopping episode where everyone had decided to, well, just they sort of talked and decided on where they were going to go, which was basically follow Joe's directions to the dragon manufactory. What was Ailey called? That's the one, fabrication station.
I can't even remember what that's from.
I don't even know either. After that, they'd gone outside and met up with Ailey's brother Oran, who was basically like, "Hey, help me get out of the city, please." Which the team obliged by taking the train back down to Cowd, letting out Oran and that they're dumping off a bunch of their shit they've been hoarding in their house, getting back on the train and going back up north after a nice nap. So everyone should be well rested and stuff as well. So make sure that's marked on your sheets if I forgot to do it for anyone who wasn't here.
What?
I'm pretty sure I did it for you because you were actually here when I did it.
Sorry, what was marked on our sheets?
If you've got any, so you should have a long rest. So if you've got any spell slots missing or anything like that, remember, you did sleep. You're okay. So.
You remembered.
There you go. Fantastic. I don't think you were really out of anything anyway, so. Slept on the train, came back up, and basically arrived back in Hiroga. Now ready to go, well, ready to begin your adventure onward to the station. So it's like early morning. No. It would be about midday now, because you would have left. Yeah, you guys slept through the night, woke up pretty early in the morning, catch the train, and now it's about halfway through the day. Really, the sun just cresting the middle of the sky. But you are all in the train station still, Jesus Christ, beef. That's enough likes. Okay, it's enough. Yeah. So, what do you guys want to do?
I feel like I'm pretty well set for a journey. Do we have the horses with us?
Yes. So the horses did. The horses were brought on the trip down to Cloud and then back up again. So.
I don't know why we brought them with us, but you know.
A dedicated sort of cargo area for them. Why not? Which also does have a whole bunch of spice in it as well. A few bags of spice just lying in the train.
Do I still have spice on me? Do I need to re-up my spice? I'm having a look.
Pass?
No, I still have a pouch of spice. You have not yet taken it from me.
No. But yeah, there's it's like 20-ish pouches, 20-ish pouches of spice in the train.
Hey, Numi, have you ever tried spice?
Ailey will be like in the background, like trying to smother and giggle.
Oh no. No. Don't do it.
Ailey will grab.
Trying to smother Paris.
Would Nemi know what spice is?
No, I don't think you. You've been here a little bit, so you've probably heard about it. That it's is a what's the word I'm looking for? It is a magical reagent of some sort. That they use to power many devices and stuff in these cities. Again, you know, they're not very magically inclined, so they don't fully understand it, but they mine it, harvest it, and use it for contraptions and stuff because of that, because it's used for that. Other than that, you probably haven't seen it before, or
Nimi saw it
certainly
and used
haven't.
on the wall when I was shooting with that gun.
Oh yeah, you would have seen it in action. Definitely seen it in action. Because you heard the spice explosion in Cloudport. So, yeah, I'm not sure if you would have had it explained to you yet about the nature of those. So I guess this is probably the time for you to yes, B.
Yes.
That's great. Yeah, this is probably the time that you would be like, what? How do you have it? What do you do? I would say.
Nemi's kind of curious but cautious, and so she's going to ask Thrakus about it.
Okay. Well, the first thing you want to do is not snort it. Do not consume it. Unlike the name implies, it is not for consumption.
Yes.
You can
That's a big
inhale
one.
it.
Maybe don't. That's a bad idea.
Maybe you give it to Inan. It might spark his memory.
That's true.
Yeah. You want to try some in it?
Okay.
That's a terrible idea.
Okay,
I can't
remembering
hear you,
that.
sorry.
Remember it, yeah. So Ailey has
Has the pipe.
has a pipe and some
tobacco.
spice laced tobacco. If that's the route that you choose, I would imagine that you're faced here with a red tiefling holding up a bag of spice ready for you to bump off of it
Gimme.
directly.
No.
Do the sound effect.
And a horned dragon holding up a pouch of tobacco and a thing.
And halfway.
And a halfling in the other arm holding them tightly.
I say yes.
Thrakus is also grinning, which is very rare. Probably unsettling.
Yes.
And I don't know that. So I just assume you're just
Yeah.
It's
Right.
just a
just
nice
happy about
smile.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, what do I do?
All right. You just go straight for huffing it. Just
Yeah.
take a good sniff.
You
Sure
at it.
do.
sure?
All right.
Eris covers his eyes.
I mean, he's got no reason to not to trust anybody here.
Down. Instant.
No reason to trust anybody here.
Yeah. Roll a
Yeah, It
roll
would
an
be up to
Arcana
Ed
check
how
for
they
me.
want to
Brandon.
do it.
Mm.
Wait, how much is he going for though?
Well,
Let's-
you don't have a
let's
table
be
or
real.
anything in the train, so I imagine he just sort of like you tip a little bit into his hand and he just
Just-
Back of the hand.
yeah.
Yeah. It's gone. Whatever you gave him is gone. It's
Oh
inside.
god.
Yeah.
No, all I did was jiggle a pouch at him. He's the one dispensing.
Okay.
Well,
Well, you roll fairly high in your Arcana. Certainly better than the Rikus did. What does happen? Well, the first thing you feel is a surge of energy.
I'm powerful now.
Well, it's like when transformed into those animals, but you haven't transformed. It's
Yeah.
weird. But yeah, it's like you get the same rush of adrenaline of being a different creature without having changed, and then as you're still on the train, I imagine you'd fall back into your seat and sort of like slump a little bit, like, oh yeah. And then for everyone else, it looks like you sort of go unconscious. But for you, you see the same vision that you have previously of the goblet encrusted with emeralds and fire around you.
Fire.
And this is more than what you've seen previously. Previously you were just drinking from it. You're seeing yourself walking towards it, holding it, about to grab it in your hand, and you're looking at your hands, and they're not your normal green fleshy hands. They're that of a great beast that you don't remember being able to transform into.
Oh.
And as you go to grab it, your hands slowly become more yours. Grab it, and you feel a deep set rage in your stomach as you're picking it up that you don't understand where it's come from, and then it's gone, and you awake back on the train.
Oh. Can I have
What
some
did you
more?
see? I just plonk the pouch of spice in his hand, like, go easy on it, buddy.
Wait, did you give me more, or did
Yeah,
you?
so you now have a pouch of spice.
Ah. What do
So
I
what
need
did
to
you
push
see?
to nothing?
Bullshit.
But maybe some more can, like-
Can,
you
can I
see?
roll? Can I roll an insight check on that?
Yeah, sure. Roll it inside check.
And
I don't
Roll
need
it-
to insight
definitely-
check this.
well,
I
actually,
call
no,
bullshit from experience.
yeah, because Ailey would remember that as well and be like, I don't believe that. Is
Yeah.
that an
As they
insight
saw you
check?
go unconscious. You're welcome
should all have to roll
you are
insight.
welcome to roll a deception.
Okay.
For them, their insights will be an advantage.
I mean,
We get to
just
roll
from
in-
my experience. And insight
We all
at
rolled
advantage.
Perfect. Good stuff.
Wait, can Nemi read all of this as well?
I mean, you can roll an insight as well. You won't have advantage. You haven't experienced. You haven't seen it in action
Oh, right.
before.
It was an advantage, wasn't it?
Um,
Oh.
but
It-
yeah,
it's
considering
still-
the one on deception, yeah, you instantly see on Ian's face that he has seen something that's familiar to him, but has added new details to it, and it's very clearly given him some ideas about what to do with this pouch of spice.
Nimi goes to approach Joe and just kind of goes quietly off to the side and goes, "Is this safe?"
Probably not.
Being that I literally told Nemi not to ingest it in any way and then handed it to
To eat it.
Enan.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
Starts
Joe's a
patting
meteor.
himself in the face. But
Joe's a
insists
meteor
that
as
there's
well.
nothing wrong.
Like, I'm fine.
It's hot in
It's
here.
just hot in here.
I'm just thinking of the
Um,
Lord of the Rings meme, keep your secrets thing.
As we are on the train, I would like to try and repair my rifle, please.
Oh yeah, it was busted, wasn't it? Yes. you
Okay.
may.
You better not be looking at me when you talk about that.
Oh.
We've already had to put
That
one
reminds
foot down.
me.
All right. So if you're giving in
One always like.
does it fix it? I think it does.
Yeah, it's DC is 10 plus the
Oh, yeah.
misfire rate, which is 13 total.
You're fine. You are fine. So as you're giving in your pouch of spice, are you going to take another one? I guess.
It's an sorry.
I mean, I have one pouch of spice still, right? It's lasted me.
I have a couple as well too.
Well, I mean, if you're just giving
too
him
long.
your full pouch of spice that you've
No,
got.
I picked one up and gave it.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't mine.
I understand now. Yes,
Yeah.
that's fine.
It was from our horde.
Yeah, we have a whole barrel
Yeah.
of it hidden away.
Well,
Oh.
you had a cartload of it, and you've used
That
a
we
fair bit of
pouched
it.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. It was a cart, not a barrel. It's a barrel of gunpowder we have.
Yeah, it was a small
Well,
cart.
Varys
It was a
has.
small cart that you also used to drag in a giant metal head. So there wasn't a whole lot of spice in there, but a good amount.
You know, enough to give us a nice taster.
Yeah, certainly.
Nimi's going to ask Joe if he knows what this stuff does to a flesh body.
Joe is not. He's a spot in character. There's no memory of what this has done to flesh creatures previously in my memory banks, but it's needless to say it's a fraught magical. It's magical essence and crystalline form. And if you're incapable of dealing with normal magic, this would probably instantly kill you. But you know, seems around here they imbibe it in many different forms. I imagine that it's a nice way of experiencing that which they have lost.
Some of us
Yeah.
are more reckless than others.
I see.
How do I do the invite fans to watch thing that people seem to do
It's
sometimes?
a share at the bottom of the screen. And you click you now. Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, you guys have arrived back at Hiroga.
Well, shall we set off straight away? Or do we have some shopping to do?
That didn't look like it worked.
I
It
suppose
does.
it's the end of our festivities. I'm okay to just set on off. Does anyone else need to do some shopping?
Mm-mm.
No, I believe that we bought some potions. Very good.
Did we is Enan gonna be okay with just what he has? Just basically nothing.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that actually. When you guys offloaded a whole bunch of your goods, do you reckon you would have given an upgrade in armor sets?
Yes.
Probably, yeah.
Because you do have studded leather armor that
Oh,
you could have
yeah.
tried and traded out.
Oh yeah.
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 Someone would have somewhere along the way.
We're
Cool.
offering Nemi this sort of thing. We'd be offering Enan. Because we did save his hide and we don't want him dying on us. Kind of have some
You're a weird puzzle
issues with
person. You
that.
must be alive.
We want to figure you out.
He just starts sniffing uncontrollably in the back.
Yeah, you,
Spice
you
really
can
does hit different.
take as much of that as you want. You don't get the same feeling. Where am I getting started?
Not today, at
Spells.
least.
Does Inan have like basic bedroll and rations and all that kind of stuff, or?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
But yeah, let me know if my studded leather needs to go to anyone or if there was more than one set extra.
Oh, I've got studded leather armor now.
Mm-hmm.
So it sets you one bit higher. I'd say that when you were there, you would have dumped that your normal leather armor. Yeah.
Yeah.
The studded leather armor was taken off of something somewhere along the way. I
We've
cannot
had a
remember.
few sets along the way.
Yeah.
I think it's Ailey's one does have holes in the back though for wings.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be that one.
No. I also put some studded leather armor down at home, so that
Yeah.
could be that.
So it's probably
But that was the one that was got off Balgalore.
No.
No, this was way earlier. It was probably
Oh.
some random
yeah,
human.
long time ago.
Yeah, we left all of Balgalore's stuff in the middle of his hallway.
You really did.
It was back when we picked the corpses clean. Was
Alright.
that sort of stuff.
Well, during that change, and you notice that amongst your jewelry that you're wearing, with you've got a locket with that locket with a tiefling male in there that you're not still not sure who it is. It's not yourself, as you've been able to see some reflections. You were really hoping that it wasn't yourself, that you could be that vain to hold a picture of yourself in a locket. So you're glad that's not the case. But you also do notice that you are wearing another necklace with some red baubles on it, about 4 of them. You're not really sure what that's about.
That one.
Little red beads on it that hangs a little bit lower, and that you're wearing a ring with a little blue crystal, purple crystal in it. That's not like, it doesn't seem like it's particularly expensive or anything, but it is definitely magical. Same with the necklace. But you're not too sure what they are.
No, I'm not. And so I keep it to myself.
Perfect. Cool. Sweet. Well, if that's everything, I guess you guys are heading out.
Mm-hmm.
So you saddle up. 4 horses, 6 people. I imagine Nemi and Joe will ride a horse together again.
Maybe they could try and spook me and see if I turn into a horse.
Well, that's what I'm leaving it to
Ailey
you.
would
Would
just
you
run
willing?
up to your face and yell, "Horsey!" Would that work? Pony!
Well, my first question was going to be: Do you immediately attempt to become a horse, or do you try and get someone to let
I
you
want
on?
someone to try and scare me.
Okay.
I don't have control over this.
Fair enough.
The count is using my breath weapon if Ailey just randomly breathes fire to try and scare.
If you do a full attack, yeah, it would be a thing of your breath
Oh,
weapon.
then again,
But
okay.
you do have the ability to have smolders and smoke.
Well, I was gonna say I'm pretty sure it comes back really easily anyway.
It will eventually,
because we're not in a fight right now. So.
But I mean, without using a charge of anything, you can do small, have smoke pour out of your nose without anything or anything like that. Something kind of terrifying. So, in that case, roll an intimidate for me, please.
Intimidate.
Yes.
But yeah, I was just trying to. You don't have what it was, but I'm pretty sure it regenerates after 10 minutes or something. Otherwise, if I don't roll a 5 or a 6, it's something like that.
Yeah, your breath weapon comes back right, like almost right away. Doesn't really matter. Oh boy.
He's not very intimidating.
No.
That's what her brother's for.
Yeah. In form does not change.
Does anyone else want to try and scare me?
That being scared will make you change.
That's the pattern
Can I
so
try and
far.
sneak up behind him and then just fire a shot into the air?
Yeah.
We're not still on the train, are we?
No. You're outside mounting up on horses now.
Yeah. Just making sure.
You are still in the city, but yeah. No.
That'll do it.
That won't do it.
Oh, okay, no, it didn't do it. I'm kidding.
Because that's his passive perception, I'm afraid.
You're a druid.
I was, unfortunately. But you can still roll intimidate, just not at advantage.
No, not very.
Not much better. No. He sort of jumps, it very clearly sees you walk around him and then fire your gun. He's like, that's not what? Why?
You nearly hit me with that.
No, I didn't.
Just trying to make you feel
There's
good.
nowhere near you.
Well,
Awfully trot, I guess.
So, I was going to let Enid ride settle back with them.
You can sit on the back of my horse, that's fine.
okie dokie.
All right.
I feel like that's good penance.
Fantastic.
For my sins.
No,
Alright.
just for the most recent one.
For one of my sins.
One. Cool. So, you guys start making your way out of the city. You don't really run into any trouble at this point. You've got plenty of looks coming your way. You already looked like absolute terror on horseback, skeleton horseback. But now you know. You got another tiefling. You got a satyr.
There's a very withered sheet on top of
There's a
Mag.
withered sheet on top of a skeleton. It's a lot. It's a lot for people, and it's sort of like it sort of acts like that's a somebody else's problem sort of field, you know. People see it and go, I'm not dealing with that, and just turn the other way. Like, so, yeah, you make it out no problem. And make it out onto the road, the one that you guys had recently traveled when you guys were making your way back from Belgalor's keep, which leads through this forest this way. So, you know that you need to get to the mountains somewhere. Joe has been pretty light on the details.
While we're riding along, can I ask Joe about the place we're going to?
Sure.
Just like pick his brains for anything and everything that I might want to know.
Okay.
Or the group might want to know.
Well, Joe details that, the city, the memories that he has retrieved from the dragon's memory core, is that it was manufactured deep in the mountains, in this area. As to how exactly they get there, or how exactly you would get there, he is not sure of. He knows that it's not so much that there is an underground city of some, well, an underground construction, much like the ruins and stuff that you guys have already been in, like the train stations and all that sort of stuff, that exists in the mountains somewhere, that also leads up to a sort of the top of a mountain as well. So it's like a whole sort of the way that he describes it, it sounds like it's a hollowed out mountain that has like another elevator that goes all the way up to the top of that mountain, that has a kind of mechanical dragon's lair, essentially, as dragons are constructed at the top of the mountain, and that's where he came from. Yeah, that's pretty much what you get out of him. Again, he's not sure how exactly you would get into it, but if you were following his directions, just go straight there. Essentially, it's like him as the compass. He was basically suggesting that you go to where the river is, along here, and then just follow it up into the mountains, and then see where that leads you. But you imagine that for a mountainous sort of pass, you might want to like come at it from like another direction as well. Yeah, there's many options here.
Can I check to see if I recognize anything here, like this location or whatever?
Sure. Roll a nature check.
A what?
A nature check.
Oh, nature.
You're not familiar with this forest, so you need to get into the forest proper, which unsettles you a little bit. It seems that you're normally familiar with. Forests and stuff like this, but this one is completely unfamiliar. It hits you right away that it's not the forest you grew up in.
I lean into Severus and say, just kind of mumbly to myself, but enough that he can overhear it. Not been here either.
Not from this area?
You're not.
Well, I think we're likely to find answers at some point. We generally do.
The quest continues.
It does. Cool. So you guys make it out to Belgalor's keep that you had previously ransacked within a couple of hours. Not
Is there anyone there?
not from you can see from the front gate when you approach from the road. Do you want to investigate it further, or do you just go past it?
Ailey just wanted to like wave and apologize to anyone still there if they were there, but if no one's there, then it doesn't matter. If they can't see anyone, they'll just be like, oh well.
From first glance, when you pass by, the gates to the keep have been like left wide open, and you don't see anybody on the wall or inside as you pass by. Cool. All right. Well, you continue for the rest of the day, until it gets nightfall. Is there anything else you guys want to discuss while you're on the road, or?
Nimi will ask Joe about all of the ways in which the spice is used, because it obviously has many interesting properties.
So again, he iterates that it's used to power machines, like himself and like other things. So in the cities, it's been used to power like stoves and simple machines, constructs like himself, from experimentation and that that he's seen while he's been around the team. It can be used to empower explosions. Can be used as a essentially a casting reagent to help in magical effects in any way. It seems to be highly versatile. A very highly versatile magical substance, but quite because of that, it's also quite volatile and
unpredictable.
Yeah. So
Get a regular top up of spice, or does it just kind of power you forever? How does that work?
So he's not sure about the nature of his power. So he's like, I'm not powered by spice. From experience of when the rest of the group tried to go into the Elven Kingdom, he reached a point where he was no longer going to be powered due to a range issue. So he had to turn back. So whatever is powering him seems to be etheric and isolated to this area of the continent, and is not related to spice at all. Although he imagines that if necessary, he could overpower by taking spice, or if required to leave that range, he could probably imbibe spice to continue to be powered.
Well, that's new information.
He's guessing.
He's learned a lot while he's been away.
He hasn't tried spice, unlike some people around here.
Well, no, but didn't we? Have we tried spice on him? No, just like electrified him.
You have electrified him to bring him back from being, quote unquote, dead. Zupimo was not sure how that works either. Joe is certainly not aware of how that works. As again, the nature of his energy and his consciousness, and even his magical ability that he has, is a complete mystery to him. As the memories that he has basically begin when you guys woke him up the first time, and he has little bits and pieces from the dragon memory core, and is otherwise piecing together bits and pieces from things he's been able to understand in different cities that he's explored while you guys were away. But otherwise, yeah, he is completely unfamiliar with his own construction, let alone anything else that's going on around here. So he's learning as you are.
We did give Fanny Boo the Hoo Hoo a nice boost with spice.
You sure did.
She seemed to enjoy that. I hope she's okay.
It's been about 2 full days now.
It was a long way to go, though.
Yeah.
Still, I've grown fond of her.
She'll be back soon.
Cool. So, make it through to nighttime. Once you pass through, pass by some, pass by a few farming houses in the, well, not really farming houses, like hunter-gatherer shacks on your way through, as well as another keep or two. As it all starts to really thin out the further and further along you go. Definitely less and less sign of civilization, but you still are walking a path that is relatively well traveled. Not nearly as traveled as the coastal road between Hiroga and Count, but still pretty tricked by caravan
I said.
and all that. So you do have a nice sense of the road, but yeah, the sun does start to get low in the sky. How do you guys want to do with the night?
Do we make camp?
Yeah.
Okay.
I prefer to not be within sight of the road.
Cool.
How do you
Agree.
guys feel?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
Okay.
Roll me survival check. With advantage as you're in
Yes,
your
of
favored
course.
terrain.
Finally in the trees. The trees have
The
spoken.
trees. Yeah, you have no problem finding a nice set of trees that lend themselves well to being camped under. Offer nice protection from being seen from the road, as well as if it rains tonight or anything like that. You've got a nice sturdy place to hang the tent from, if needed.
Hang the tent?
Well,
Hang
you put up a
atop the
tent,
shelter.
but you could
Oh, got ya.
use the trees instead of if you wanted to do something like that. Provides nice shelter. However you want to do it. Yeah,
Could totally make a hammock.
totally could.
Oh yeah, hammock.
Hammock, hammock, hammock.
Hammock, hammock.
What if we make a giant one and we all just pile in and snuggle?
Oh, cuddle puddle.
Can I be on the outside of this snuggle? Otherwise, I'm going to get squished.
We can just pop you on top of the pile.
Okay.
The halfling on top.
Can you turn into a kitty again to snuggle with?
Sorry?
That's what Ailey would be like. Can you turn into a kitty again to snuggle with?
Who are you talking
Well,
to?
To the
You.
one person who can
Oh,
turn
well,
into a cat.
yeah.
Mostly because I'm
No.
holding Sid right now because he keeps trying to stand on my keyboard and I'm trying to keep him off of it.
No, you go on the other side of the puddle from me.
Nobody said there was going to be a puddle.
If there's puddles, I'm not so keen.
No.
I
Maybe
just thought it'd be
separate
nice
hammocks.
and warm.
It's a puddle of cuddle.
Oh, okay.
I'd
That's
like
less
to
bad.
cuddle with you, dear. I'm not sure I'm familiar enough with everyone here to sleep in the same hammock. I'll have my own, thank you.
Maybe the hammock is too treacherous. We could just do a campfire.
You want Ailey to set up the campfire?
Well, Thrakus does a good job on getting it ready, and then you just
Sneezes on it.
yeah.
Bless you.
Nemi's gonna find two
Sid, you've
trees.
got mud on my keyboard. Really?
Nemi's gonna find two trees to like put a tarp type thing between, and then put her bedroll into it to make a hammock.
Perfect.
Nice.
Cool. So, who was on first watch?
I can do first watch.
Any objections?
I was gonna say normally the halfling does either first or last.
What's the light situation as we go to sleep?
It is still springtime, so it's probably still kind of twilighty.
Right. I'll take
your-
first watch then, if that's the case.
Yeah, your vision would definitely dim by the end of your watch.
Well, I do have my ring of light as well.
You do.
Yes, that becomes a problem.
And you have
And the fire.
a campfire.
Mm.
Would you like to take a watch with Enon or just?
Sure.
There you go. Cool. So, can I get a perception check from both of you?
Wait, Ailey's not going first for a change?
Yeah.
Was it because I was distracted by the cat?
Yes.
Probably.
And Enid is probably too uncomfortable to have first watch with you now.
Definitely so.
Ailey just wants a cat.
Yes.
That's why Varys got attacked that other time, because he was petting a cat.
Yeah. Anyway, Varys, yeah, you're not used to being on this watch, so
Just
yeah.
looking around, it's
Yeah,
still light.
you're like, huh, this is different. Staying up this late.
Hmm.
Do you have night vision, Varys?
Nope.
Nope, I'm a halfling.
But Enid does have dark vision, so they have no problem watching not directly seeing the road, but seeing
Okay,
close enough
fine,
to
I'll
it,
put on your video.
and listening out for movements and stuff. You do hear from here
Go sit.
a few
What?
troop movements on the road. Some marching soldiers and some wagons come past for the few short hours that you stay up, but otherwise no intruders or anything like that. Nothing to be particularly worried about. But otherwise you just spent a few hours up with Varys. Did you guys
Varys
want
is
to...
probably cleaning his guns during that time. Seeing as
Fair.
they've seen a bit of action recently.
Fair.
Got him off my keyboard, but I can't work right now. He's watching
Perfect.
Verge TV.
I am getting a phone call. 2 seconds.
Okay.
Ring.
Yeah. No rest for the wicked. Work never stops.
No.
Hmm.
If you stand on the keyboard, it stops playing.
You guys doing anything else with your watch?
Yes, I'm just gonna wait for it's gonna let it come back.
No, that's fair.
Wait, can you still hear me? He muted me. I think I've
Yes,
unmuted
we-
me. Okay, good.
I hear you.
We can hear you.
I've been able to hear you the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
We can say whatever we want and he can't stop us. Does anyone want to say anything off color?
Not like we're not allowed to say off-color things under normal circumstances anyway.
You can never stop me.
What are you not being stopped from?
I was just about to start asking everyone what they knew
Exactly.
about stocks. How
Can
does stocks work?
How do stocks work? Nobody knows.
can I do a stealth check to see if I can do something without Varys noticing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, my passive's higher than that.
Yeah, and even that perception you rolled for tonight is higher than mine. So what were you doing?
I was sprinkling little bits of the spice in like a vague pattern around the campsite, but I guess I didn't get very far before he saw me doing it. So,
Well, Varys, what would you do upon seeing him do this?
So if Inan were to turn around, he sees just a pair of orange eyes in the dark, squinting at him. So, what you doing?
Varys, is that
Hello?
You can
Oh,
very
yes?
clearly see him.
you? Oh, I can clearly see him.
You have dark vision, so
Oh,
he can barely see
those are
you.
my eyeballs.
Yeah. He can barely see you, but you can see him for sure.
I thought there might be a hole in my spice pocket. It's been dribbling out while I'm walking around.
You've been walking around in a bit of a pattern. It looked intentional.
Did it?
Yes.
Oh,
Hmm.
must be just absent-mindedly walking around. Anything you see?
Yeah, I just told you what I saw.
No, I mean
Wait,
like
if he
trouble
can't
and
see
stuff.
well in the dark, how could he see?
So he can
Even
see.
with
Because he
So
did
like,
so
there's
badly.
there's firelight.
Oh,
He's
okay.
got a ring
Yeah,
of light.
I ruined
There
my
is
stealth
enough,
roll, so
and
he sees me.
yeah.
No,
There is
I just
there is enough
realized
to
I'm
I was
tripping on
see.
things. I'm
Yeah.
crunching on branches.
Yeah, and also it's not at that point in the night where it's pitch black. Like it's still like there's still like red in the sky. But the sun is over the horizon, sort of stuff. So there's still visibility there, but yeah. Do you attempt to insight that or?
Yeah. I feel like I do. I feel like that's.
All right. You can roll a deception there.
It's
Oh dear, dear, dear. Okay. Switch back to the right screen. Looking at the same time, just that talented. Yeah. Roll a deception. That's a pretty high insight.
pretty worried
so-
about accidentally showing anything from work.
I've got literally a different machine plugged in, so there's no way they could capture that. Yeah, you can immediately tell he's trying to say, not doing what he is saying he's doing.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
Eamon wouldn't own up to it, but I can tell you what you'd be able to see from the pattern if that's helpful.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it looks like some sort of like maybe a ward or a pentagram. That's all that it is. It's just a ward or like a pentagram sort of shape.
Yeah, I'd say with Varys's knowledge of magical things, that would be his would be his go-to. It's like, oh, it's like doing some like magical protection or something. Why is he being
That
weird
sounds
about
about
it?
right. I mean, if you're doing stuff like you're going to be traveling with us, at least be honest, you know? I don't care as long as you're not going to blow us up in our sleep or anything.
No, I don't know. I'm still getting to know you all, and I don't know. It's I guess hard to trust people when you don't really trust yourself. You know, like I don't know who the hell I am. Like he pulls out this necklace with the picture in it, like opens it up. I don't even know who this is. Who is this? There's a red
Can I have a look?
tiefling. Yeah, sure.
Roll a
He
history.
yanks it
So,
off, breaking the back of the chain, and tosses it over to you very carelessly with it.
Roll a history check.
I can have a look.
Who's
Roll
rolling
a what?
history?
History check. Varys.
Two.
Me. Oof. Nah.
Not familiar. So you see a tiefling similar to Varys. Sorry, to Enid. Green in color. Handsome. Yeah. It's completely unfamiliar to you.
It's a handsome tiefling, that's all I can tell you.
I'm an
I mean-
enigma wrapped in a mystery. I don't even understand myself.
You're an enema wrapped in the what?
Mystery, he says confidently.
Enema wrapped in misery. Yeah, it makes sense.
He thinks he said enigma. He doesn't understand that he said enema.
It doesn't understand. It doesn't understand that Varys is just like taking all of the wrong way. Like, it is like standing there proud, like, yeah, I sound that made me sound really cool. And
What a
it's
great
like,
first impression of this new person.
I was like, what the fuck?
Anyway, shall I finish my ward?
Sure. What does it do?
It protects us.
Okay, cool.
Indulge I don't know how old I am. holds his eyes back so that you can't see any crow's feet or anything. But indulge in old souls' superstitions.
Doesn't
Carries
bother
on
me.
sprinkling the spice.
Okay. So you are attempting to do some sort of magical effect, yeah?
Yes.
Actually putting your heart and soul into this.
Well, trying to.
Okay. Roll an Arcana check.
Nice.
Well, okay. So yeah, after being let back into it, you feel like a memory that's not a memory, like a muscle memory kick in, where you move in just the right way and just the right pattern, putting down spice, like you would put down salt or something for a summoning circle of some sort, completely unknown to your memory, but it feels like it's something that would absolutely protect protect the team and yourself very well. You feel very confident in that fact. And then once you've completed it, you feel a light hum, not like an audible hum, but you feel it in the a vibration in the air, a magical vibration. Definitely worked.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
Do you hear that humming? I hope it's not going to wake everybody up.
And you hear in your head, what humming?
Huh? Hello?
You have to speak out loud. I can't hear you in your head.
Ah.
I can talk into your head. I can't hear into it.
See.
And go back to cleaning my guns.
Fair enough.
Eden stands somewhat confused.
You hear a faint whistling in your head as Varus is working.
Keeps doing double takes.
Wow, that is obnoxious as hell. Just cleaning my guns, whistling in other people's heads.
Then it starts quietly humming the tune, absent-mindedly.
Perfect.
Is this psychological warfare?
I guess. Yeah. You guys reach the end of your watch. Who are you waking up for the second watch?
Is there anyone that would like to go next?
Ailey, you mentioned. Probably.
I would presume Ailey.
It'll be proper nighttime now, so Ailey and Thrak is the only people who can actually see in the dark. Well, and Joe. But...
yeah. Ailey's fine to just do it with Joe.
Yeah. I mean, Joe's consistently doesn't actually have to sleep. He's just sort of at a resting state. Yeah. So.
Haley doesn't want alone time with the Ruckus. All right.
Oh no, I was just like, because won't you need to do the next shift?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Because if you're the only other one that can see, so it means.
I mean, that's true.
See.
But are you not curious about Nemi?
Oh, yeah. I guess it would be whether Nemi had agreed to be woken up for it or not. Actually, I think it'd be better. Tharikis is better at harassing people and finding out info.
No? In what world?
Really not.
Better than Haley. I mean,
I'm not.
How much have you got to your
persuasion? I'd be the worst in the group.
I guess my.
And I'd still lose that argument.
Yeah.
Nemi should probably go on the last shift because no night vision.
Yes.
Yeah. Fair.
Zenon walks up to Ailey, gives him a bit of a light kick in the boot, the base of their boot. Yo. Big Red, you're up.
There's probably like fire, like just sort of.
Varys
comes
snorts
out
to himself
suddenly.
when he hears Big Red.
Yeah, Ailey will
Yeah, it's
probably
probably
like
like a
cough up some fire
cough
and like
snort.
stretch and stuff and be like, what? The fire has like gotten bigger from her coughing on it. 'Cause she always sleeps right next to the fire, like
Yeah.
half in it.
Yeah.
Her tail was probably in the fire the whole time.
I imagine that like
With her wings
Thrakus,
over
that
her
you and
head like a
Thrakus are
blanket.
probably like right next to the fire at all times.
Yeah.
No, I prefer the safety of the trees.
True, yeah, you
Yeah.
probably are up in a tree. Okay. Bailey, your watch. Roll me perception.
I'm good at perception.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
So we don't let Ailey go alone.
Ooh.
Well, this is why Ailey normally goes first, because once they've slept, when they wake up, they're just like, nah. But that's why
Yeah,
Joe's
turns
there.
in.
Man, we donked up this order.
Well, Ailey, you hear nothing. You
Mhm.
you are basically half asleep for most of it, just sort of half unconscious, staring into the fire.
Ah, I know. Ailey decides to start having some of the spice tobacco. To try
Oh,
and stay
dear.
awake. That's why their perception was so low.
So you go on spice tobacco, eh?
Yeah.
Roll me an Arcana check.
Remember, the tobacco's not as bad.
No, it's not nearly
Still,
as bad. Yeah, you feel a mild buzz. It's not nearly as enjoyable as the last time.
Yeah.
And yeah, you are
Stupid
just sort of
dragon
tolerances. Out of it right now. Not really fully awake. Not really gone back to sleep. To the point where Thrakus wakes up for their watch by themselves naturally, and sees that you've fallen asleep. So
Yeah, that sounds about
Thrakus.
right.
Thrakus,
that's what
you
Joe's
and
for.
Thrakus, you and Codswallop are now able to take your watch. If you would like to
Cool.
roll perception checks, you can roll yours at advantage.
Cool.
Nice.
Yep. Also, since it's just me and Codswallop, can I see if there's any sort of just like, are there any fallen branches around, little bits of wood?
Yeah.
Cool.
Are you looking for anything in particular?
I just want to carve some stuff.
Yeah, there's like, bits of branches and stuff.
Sweet.
Easily found enough. I mean, with your previous survival check, I imagine that you've found quite a few bits and pieces
Yeah.
for keeping the fire stoked as well. So you've got that.
I was
Nice.
betting on that.
Got a nice little stockpile of stuff you can use for any of that sort of stuff.
Do you know what kind of trees we have around us? What kind of wood have I got on offer?
The trees that you're in currently, they are very, very old, fruited trees.
Ooh,
Again,
you've got
it
old
is-
fruity wood.
So it is a sweet, when you've taken bark off of the live trees themselves, it's very it's almost like a maple syrup essentially coming right out of it. But from the
Like
dead,
sweet sap kind of.
yeah, from the wood you got, you're like it would be very much akin to like a cherry wood sort of stuff.
Nice.
Not as dark as mahogany, not as red as like a as something like that, but yeah, nice darkened wood.
Cool. Well, I mean, this kind of wood is quite nice. So I think you know who I'd be carving.
Yes. Yes, I'm well aware.
Think we all know.
You know nothing. You are asleep.
Thrakus shouts at us while we're asleep.
The Riker's there with a little dagger carving out Jamie's visage in this this piece of wood. You know nothing. Keeps carving. Like a Smeagol. Oh dear. All right, but you do manage to keep a lot of perception out for other things, so you do hear again, not nearly as many as the night that you were at Belgalor's, but there is still a few troop movements going back and forth. It's making it painfully aware about the situation that is currently going on.
I'm very, very aware because I'm paranoid that any one of these fuckers is gonna wake up and see what I'm doing. So I'm
That too.
definitely keeping a close eye.
Yeah, you shudder at every cough and every splutter, and the sleep talking of Ailey. And we got final watch as the sun starts to crest. Well, as the sky starts to lighten, the sun's not even close to proper sunrise, but it gets light enough that Nemi would be able to see without the aid of the fire.
Nemi's a light sleeper, so she'll probably wake up quite easily.
Yep.
Okay.
So, perceptions.
Yes. Oh, that one, not the other one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you, at this time of the morning, are hearing a lot of carriages coming by. It sounds like merchants and stuff carrying lots of heavy goods. Not nearly as many soldiers on the road, but there is still a couple of marching orders you hear as the morning really settles in. And as the sun properly rises, everyone else starts to awaken from their slumber.
Nothing unusual during my shift?
No intruders, nothing like that. You've got a good ranger to keep to keep you well safetied. So yeah, it's really annoying. I wanna ambush you guys while you're asleep, but somebody has to roll fucking advantage on survival checks, don't they? Anyway. So, back on the horses. Back at it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hitting the road after a quick ration breakfast.
Yeah.
How does everyone take that? Because not everyone's used to being on the road.
Well, Ian takes that fine. It seems that even though he doesn't know, he seems to be used to rations as a meal. Nemi, how would you take that?
Nemi is used to tavern food, but she did take the journey all the way out here, so she kind of reluctantly, is fine with it, but would prefer, something with fruit in it.
Well,
there's normally dried fruit and rations.
Yeah. Well, from the survival check that again that the Rikers rolled, they probably also found, amongst other things, perfectly ripe fruit that had dropped on the ground from the fruit trees that you were surrounded by currently. So, and also knowing the Rikers, they probably tested it to make sure that it is safe to eat, and it is.
Oh yeah.
It's like
Nemi batters her eyelids at
citrusy apple.
Rikers and kind of goes, "Darling, could I have a couple of those with my breakfast?"
Oh, absolutely. Take as many as you like.
Thank you, dear. Just makes everything a little bit nicer, doesn't it?
Mm. I like how sour they are.
Yeah. Just imagine Thrak is just like orange peel in mouth sort of deal. While everyone else is like, and I was like, lucky.
Nemi's also going to play a jaunty tune to start the morning before she takes apart her hammock,
Nice.
just to kind of uplift everyone's spirits a little bit.
Good stuff. Cool. Well, everyone's in good spirits.
Haley
Had a
had
good
the
sleep.
best sleep they've
Yeah.
had in ages.
They sure did.
She
Mhm.
feels so rested.
Yeah. Everyone else is also doing pretty well for themselves. Yes. All back on the horses. Do you guys try to get in and back into form, or are you just gonna pop them back up on?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. 1 second.
Can Nemi try something?
Oh yeah,
Every-
Nemi can.
Everyone's
Sure.
welcome.
So Nemi's going to use kind of minor illusion to create a small a merry-go-round horse, but like going
Carousel?
around Enen's head, like that
What?
those old illusions.
Carousel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
carousel. But the like the old light illusions that you used to be able to get that are
Yeah,
on a
yeah,
smaller
yeah.
scale. Yeah.
The shadow boxes?
The one. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, it's kind of almost a little bit kind of mind numbing or hypnotic. There we go. It's a little bit hypnotic.
Okay. Cool. And then roll a investigation check. It's weird, I know, but Yep. Okay. Yeah, that's well under the DC on that one. Cool. Yeah, I think that's actually you induce a hypnotic sort of suggestion into Enin, and they turn into their fantastic black thoroughbred horse.
Oh, delightful.
Nice.
Do you take passengers, Enin?
I'm definitely a horse.
Incapable.
looks at
Really
the horse.
respond.
the horse would just look at you, not
Yeah.
able to say anything. Sort of.
Nimi hears in her head. Yes.
Oh.
Nemi is aware that Varys was the one that did that and laughs internally.
One hoof tap for yes, 2 for no.
One hoof taps on the ground.
Nemi kind of glides over to Enin and kind of curtsies before jumping on.
Well,
Yep.
this is fucking roleplay right here, everybody.
Pony play, I mean.
No.
I said nothing.
Mhm.
I don't want to jump into a hammock with them, but I don't mind riding astride them.
He's a horse. Let
Less
them
How
weird
many-
when he's a horse.
How many people do you think he can fit?
Oh, you're just a regular horse. You know, the skeleton
Like one
horses.
person, 2 person.
Without a saddle, you could just hold Nemi, and
Okay,
you
so
wouldn't be
cool.
able to take Joe. He's a middleman.
Sweet.
But you could
But
take
Joe's
Varys at a stretch. So you could take Varys by himself, no problem. You could take Nemi, no problem. everyone else by themselves, no problem. At a stretch, you could probably take Varys and Nemi at once, but Varys has got his own horse. So
Mhm.
See, this way it works out that we have one rider for each horse.
yeah.
Yes. That's true. Well done.
How long can you stay a horse?
I don't know. I don't have control over this. I've just been convinced to turn into a horse.
Yep.
No, I am currently a horse.
It's not your druid level rounded down, isn't it?
I'm looking. Yes. So 2 hours.
Better make it count.
Gonna be funny.
We're gonna
Well, the
collapse.
thing is
in a
that yes,
pile
yeah,
on
Enan,
the
Enan doesn't
ground.
know that, and you guys don't know
Yeah.
that. You just think, oh, cool, he's going to be a horse for a while. All right. So you.
If we don't get there in 2 hours, then that's gonna be fun.
Yeah. So you guys keep walking, or keep riding, through the morning. Yeah.
To engage in a one-sided conversation that is not particularly meaningful, but not like horrific either. Like it's not awful small talk, but it's not kind of, you're not learning her backstory or anything. But it's very one-sided. But she's just being polite because you're a person.
Well, I can hear them, but I can't respond. Yeah.
You can respond in horse.
Yeah, I can't respond. Cool. Okay. Horse is being ridden, so they are listening.
You
Listening
can only
intently.
say nay.
I think that's the most awful joke I've heard in one of these sessions.
Yes.
Hey, didn't take that long to get there.
Mhm. All right. Well, within a couple,
Oh.
within the time before Enan turns back, you do come upon a carriage that is being ridden the other way. A couple of, you're probably running through a couple of them. Would you guys
They
try to
intimidated by us?
Yes, absolutely. But you're not seeing them for very much. So it's quickly gone. But would you guys be engaging with any of these people, or you just go right past them?
Do any of them look particularly interesting?
Yeah.
Well, most of them just look like merchants. You don't see at this point in time. You wouldn't see any guards or any troop movements. So it's just merchants at this point.
Are any of the merchants carrying musical instruments?
No, most of them are. All of them are just carrying. They're just got carriages, horse-driven, that have like crates and stuff in them. None that you can immediately see would have musical instruments.
No.
Cool. All right. Continuing on. Not interacting with that. Yeah. So you reach the 2-hour mark, and you hear a slight like sucking, popping noise, and a crash as Enan and Nemi roll into each other along the gravel.
Nemi's going to quite elegantly kind of roll and then stand up giggling.
Eamon does not gracefully fall at all, and is face planted into what they hope is just
Mud.
yeah. Praying that it's mud, and yeah, is not really responsive, but is trying to pull their face out of the mud.
Nemi goes, "Oh dear, darling," and rushes over to kind of help in and up.
The hell happened?
Ailey will yell, Joe, do that thing you do with the magic and the woof and the dirt.
Yeah, he waves his hand and all of the mud and dirt is gone from both Ian and Nemi from the fall.
Now, do I feel like I've been carrying them for like the last 2 hours, or do I like not like? Does it not?
No,
physically
doesn't
affect-
feel like it's affected your
Oh, okay.
normal form at all. You were while in horse form through the couple of hours. You know, there were times where you're like, oh, this is not comfortable, especially not without a saddle. But yeah, by the 2 hour mark, you were like, 2 hour mark, you were ready for this to stop, and then it just did. But yeah, as soon as you came out, you feel like fresh as a daisy.
Shall we do it again?
I feel like this would happen again.
But we'll be closer to our destination, and that way we don't have to
How
walk.
far away are
You don't
And I
have
feel
to
fine,
walk.
so-
You can get on our horses.
Is there enough room for everybody if I'm not a horse?
Yeah, you're still able to ride. It's just awkward.
Ah,
Yeah, it's a little awkward because it
'Cause
has
you
to
have to-
sort of be cozied up on the saddle with us because the rest of the horse
Which
bones.
is, I'll say for mechanical things, it is making the travel slower when you are traveling together on a horse, as it's it's difficult to keep
Slows the
rhythm.
horse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
slows the horse.
I'm
Difficult to keep
happy
rhythm when
to.
doing like that.
It's not any inconvenience to me to be turned into a horse, apparently. So I'm happy to carry on doing so. I hope it turns me into a horse.
I thought you were uncomfortable being a horse.
While
The
they
first
are,
time was
while
when I
they're a
wasn't.
horse.
Yeah.
But as soon as they turn back, they're like, huh, that's fine.
I enjoyed your company, dear. I think it's maybe more sensible for me to ride with Joe. But feel free to become a horse again.
Do you want to try becoming a horse again without assistance?
Yeah.
Cool. Roll a straight wisdom check for me. Yeah. You think real hard, focusing on the memory of turning into a horse, and you're a horse.
Oh.
Move up to the front of the group.
Yeah,
Yay,
Nemi's
you
clapping
did
as
it.
well.
Do that little like dancing as a horse, like yeah, look at me.
Trot,
Just some
trot, trot, and
dressage.
Little
please.
trot, horse trot. Amazing.
Whacks the other horse in the face with its tail. That goes up.
Which horse?
Yeah,
I don't know.
not the one
Any
that's on
horse-
fire. Not the one that's on fire.
Okay, not the one that's on fire. The other
Varys
one.
readjusts the cloth covering Mag's face. How dare you?
All right. That short detour out of the way. You make it another 2 hours before Enon turns back into himself. This time, more gracefully comes out of their horse form as they seem to. It seems to be. It's not so much that they're remembering entirely how to do it. It's just whatever natural. They're tapping into whatever power they have to do this, and restoring some of that knowledge on how to do it. So you sort of see as they're about to go back into tiefling form, the horse form sort of leaps their forward legs up and transforms properly, and is goes into a walk instead of falling onto their face.
Oh, cool.
Much smoother this time.
You imagine that you'll get better with a lot of these forms as you transform into them more.
I guess that's a thing I do now. Turn into a horse when I want.
You're getting the hang of it.
It seems intuitive for you.
Nice. Well, at that 2-hour mark, you start to hear rushing water very close by. There is at least a very fast river nearby, shortly up the road. What is your plan?
Are there any other odd sounds that come along with the sound of the river?
Roll a perception. No, just river.
So, given the conversation that I'd had with Joe earlier, or yesterday,
Yes.
what would I be expecting? Would I be kind of thinking, oh yes, we're on the right track, or oh maybe we're getting close, or like what would I be thinking?
You would know that this is probably the river that you're probably the first river that you could come to head upstream to make your way to the mouth of the mountain, mouth of the mountains even. If that was the way that you wanted to travel. Again, there is another river further that way. There's been light creeks and streams that you've passed that easily walk throughable. They go through the road and have no trouble with this. This definitely seems like it's a proper river, and that you would be able to walk alongside it up it until you reached the mountains where this cold spring would have come from initially. If that's the way you want to do it. Again, Joe has not been able to give you fantastic amounts of detail about where you're going. This just seems like a good way to get to where there might be some people in the mountain, where previous mountaineers probably have gone if anyone has trekked these mountains before, things like that.
But he seemed more sure about going this way than about going a different way, right?
He was sure. Yeah. I mean, he's sort of pointing as a compass, so he's like shortest route, just go. So, his confidence level is we hit this river, we go up it, we'll get there. Whether or not that's going to involve lots of mounting, or like, yeah, the exact nature of what that means for you guys, he cannot give you that, but it definitely seems like that's the direction to go.
We want to go this way, team. So I guess we all discuss it.
Anyone else got any opinions?
I mean, following a fresh water source is always a pretty good idea in the forest.
And if it's the most notable way that Joe knows of to help us get through, then probably take it, yeah?
I trust Joe.
I mean, the other thing is that odd wizard man in Zupimo's shop did suggest that we follow him. So, I mean, I'm happy to go with that too.
Yeah, agreed. Let's keep going.
Cool.
Ben's opinions.
So in I imagine you try to turn back into a horse.
Yes.
Cool.
But I want to try and be a different color just to see if I can.
Fail immediately.
Oh.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, I'm about to do it, and then hands go into the dirt. Like, oh.
No, everyone gets a bit of performance anxiety now and then.
Well, shit. I try again.
Same thing. It seems
Okay.
you're out of the power that that supplies this. You feel like you feel like you need a short break before being able to take any more forms.
Well, easy come, easy go. And he walks over to Eris's horse. Scooch on over a sec.
Real
Onto the
Sure.
back
horse
of the horse.
move. I guess his horse does have some extra comfort having a white sheet over it.
A little bit, yeah.
And a very small person.
It's
Yes.
not a very white sheet anymore as well. It's been on there for ages. It's very. I feel like if anything, it's adding to the intimidation factor.
Intimidatingly
It's really
smelly.
ripped in some places, like, and then you see right through into a skeleton. It looks probably
Yeah,
looking
it's like
pretty.
trailing.
Yeah, it's really looking pretty horrifying right now.
Inan
Halloween
feels
decoration.
comfortable. Inan feels comfortable to just wipe his hand a little bit onto the sheet since it's already sitting out.
Ferris just
No.
looks down at it. Looks back up at Inan.
Coming over to get back on, you just grab a bit of the sheet, wipe your hands on it, and jump on.
Inan smiles. Hi.
This is after how horse you treated Mag earlier. This very horse.
How dare you?
You're playing a dangerous game.
The
Oh,
most
boy.
dangerous game.
All right. Well, it doesn't take you long moving along the trail until you get to the river. The trail, the road that you're on, does lead to a well-made bridge. This one is made out of the same sort of metals that the cities and stuff are made out of, and Joe, the ancient metal. Seems well looked after. If it seems, it kind of seems like it was built when the river was significantly larger than it is now, as it reaches well over from
Oh, the
where
bridge
river
is
water is.
way past the shore.
Yeah, exactly. So you guys get to the bridge and then move off the track and down onto the riverbed ish sort of where the river has moved down to its lower point. You've got some sort of like a river beach sort of thing going on there, with some river shore. Yeah, I guess that works. Riverbank is probably closer. Where it's more where it's nicer to walk on as opposed to like all stones and stuff. And make your way up further and further up the river. You notice salmon and other.
It's about to ask how much fish and stuff.
Yeah, and other like.
Is Ailey jumping in the river chasing fish, or
Well, you do see salmon and other jumping fish. Fish that jump in rivers, jumping upstream from time to time.
Ailey will be generally watching them, and it's just up to the horse to go the right way.
Well, the horse is following everybody else, so.
Yeah, exactly.
How intent are we talking here? You gonna try and like grab one, or?
She'll be tempted. Like if they stop at any point, that's what she'll be doing.
Well, team, would you be stopping at any point?
We
Not if we don't
need
need
toilet
to.
breaks.
Yeah, probably do take like a lunch. It's been a few hours since you rested, at least 4 or 5. So yeah, it's probably getting close to midday. So yeah, stop, take toilet breaks.
All that tinkling water sound really.
Yeah, the tinkling water sound will absolutely set you off.
Is it
so I
nature
guess.
to catch fish?
Well, it depends. How are you doing this? Are you going diving, or are you going to try and catch one as it's jumping, or?
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, how shallow is it? Is she gonna stand there and wait for one to jump up and she grabs it?
Well,
like,
roll a survival check for me
like
first.
what bears do.
Roll a survival check for me first. Let's see where you are in the river.
Hello.
Hello. Can you not hear me? Hello.
Ailey?
We can hear you.
Ailey, can
Myra?
you hear us?
Ailey, hello.
Ailey. Appears Ailey cannot hear us.
Cut out mid-conversation. That's pretty amazing.
Well, while Ailey's frolicking around in the river, Nemi's gonna
Oh,
pull
now I
out.
can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can
Yeah.
hear you.
Ah.
Alright, so what is Nemi doing?
Nemi's gonna pull out her viol and kind of hum to herself and kind of, rather than performing for everybody, just kind of take off in a kind of vague direction, not too far away from camp, and just kind of, you hear her humming and playing to herself.
Okay.
Ferris is doing cartwheels.
Alright,
Okay.
fair enough.
He's been stuck on the horse this whole time. He
Yeah,
gotta
let's
do
get
some upper
stretching.
body now. Yep, stretching out. All I have is my body. I don't have spells. I just shoot shit.
That's fair.
It's just stretching.
That's fair enough.
Inan is trying to turn into a horse again.
Okay. Well, yeah. For this, yeah, you wouldn't be able to.
No, but he
Currently.
doesn't know that.
No. So, how many times do you try before you like give up and
Oh,
just settle
until
in?
we leave.
So you don't
This
even.
is
So
what
you
you-
just consistently trying. You're not
Yeah.
even like kind of try and break, even though you've
No.
know. Okay,
No.
cool, sweet, cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what
So
am I rolling
survival
fish
for me
catch?
first, please. See what the river. See what your river skills are looking like. Yeah. No. You don't feel like you would be confident jumping into these waters. But you do.
In that case, she's
Get
getting
close
a
to it.
stick.
Yeah, you do get well. You get up close, sort of like in a what's the word I'm looking for? Sort of where the bank has, where the water separates a little bit, so that you've got some perch for you to like hold yourself on land and like reach out where fish would be jumping. So like where there's very much a dip in the water, but the water's still rushing past really fast. Go ahead and roll me a attack with your dragon claws.
Okay. Claws. Oh, wait, that'll be in features, won't it?
It's an inventory. Because it's with all your weapons.
Oh, right. Dragon claw. That roll it.
Yep. Alright, you've missed the first fish, so you try to catch.
Okay. One more fish. I don't know how many I'm allowed to catch.
You can roll again. One more time.
Ailey falls in the river.
Yep. You fall in the river. Not too much to get carried away by the current. But you knock your head and take 3 points of damage.
You take the damage away,
Yeah.
please.
Oh boy.
Oh no. Can
So-
I try to help stem the head bleeding with my herbalism
Oh
kit?
yeah, you have no problem helping Ailey with that.
Cool.
Yeah, it's just a small cut, and the water washed most of it away. Plus, natural dragon resistances kept them from hurting themselves too much. But while you're tending to that, you see Joe just sort of Terminator himself into the water. Just like, short steps. It gets lower and lower and lower.
I was thinking like Striker? Fucking what's his name?
Yeah, from
I just
That's your name.
imagine.
The Mortal Engines.
Shriek. Shrike.
I just
Shrike.
imagined
Shrike.
Jack from
Right.
Tekken just
Jack from
drop
Tekken.
down and then slid across the ground.
No,
Yeah,
he's just it's just Shrike from
I just
from
imagine,
Mortal Engines.
especially like from the movie, like when he walks out of the water.
Yeah,
he's just
but in
like-
reverse. And
Yeah.
it's just like slowly like death
Now
marching
I'm gonna
himself into the.
imagine Joe looking like Shrek all the time. Robotic,
Yep.
half-human alien thing.
And just sort of call out
Fair
to
enough.
Joe. Joe, you okay?
Through the bubbles. Yes.
Okay.
And then you see him start coming back up. Water just like pouring out of cuts and stuff in him. Well, bits and slots in the middle. Water starts pouring out of him, and he's carrying in his arms just a whole load of fish. Just like wriggling in his arms. Just plops them all down.
Nice.
Joe, you could be a fisherman.
I'll just start scaling them and gutting them. Is it in nature or survival?
It's survival. This is for food purposes. You're still in your favorite terrain. Yeah. You don't do a terrible job. No one ends up with scales in their food or anything.
I kind of like them. They're crunchy.
Fair enough. But yeah, everyone's got fish for lunch.
Yes.
With some cooking and all that stuff. But yeah, Enon decides not to take a short rest as they continue to try and turn back into a horse.
I'm going to get it any moment now.
Everyone else can take a short rest if they want to.
I don't think it'll make a difference.
I don't think for everybody else.
Doesn't make it.
The only person that it really would have benefited was Enon.
I'm still going to do it just in case.
Yep.
How do I just roll one hit dice?
Load up the short rest, and then here you go. You used a short rest for 3 hit points. Oh boy. Anyway,
we're nearly halfway through the day at least.
Yeah, you are. You're straight up. This is lunch. Joe caught a bunch of fish for lunchtime. You mill around for a little bit. Get the road out of your bones, out of your joints. Get a good stretch on. Take a little bit of a dip. Just chill out for a little bit. Those of you who are short resting, everyone else, you just sort of see Enon just sort of standing there, just occasionally like throwing his arms out, and going, horse, 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 and not turning into a horse. But then, sun starts to get a little bit lower. Not stark midday now. Probably like 1-2 o'clock. And you guys all settle back up and head back up the river. Takes you a couple more hours riding. Probably late afternoon by the time that you guys come up to your first real major obstacle, which is a waterfall. As there's sort of a pretty steep, just a sort of cutoff where the river is separated from the rest of itself, and basically to get up it, you would have to climb a clear cliff face, or take a route around that you're not sure about. So, what is the plan?
Presumably the cliff face would be slippery from the waterfall, yes?
If you were going to try and... Well, so as you approach, you see on both sides of the river, of the waterfall, you see cliff face that is dry, that you could probably surmount if you guys used the right equipment and rolled pretty well.
But we have horses.
But you do have horses. But otherwise, it looks like the river cuts a nice clean cut out of it, and there's the waterfall seems to like go go into the cliff a little bit. Like it's well cut into the cliff as well. So, yeah. And where the waterfall actually falls in to this river, it's a little bit slower. Like it's swirling around, sort of pooling at the bottom. It would be a great place to take a long dip if you're that way inclined.
Only if we wanted to be pulled under by Undertow.
Yeah, I
Your
guess.
nymphy ways will not trick me.
But otherwise, you could very easily make your way up to the waterfall without even getting in the water, as there's sort of a right up to the cliff, and then reach out, touch the waterfall, no problem.
How high up is it?
To touch the water.
Sorry?
How high up is it? Like, how high is the waterfall?
Probably 80, 90 feet.
I could attempt to grapple up to the top and see if it's okay up there.
I could just fly.
Sure.
That, yes.
I mean, if you want to use your grappling gun, go on. Go on then.
I don't think it went so
Do
well
it.
last time.
Do it. Right, Ailey said do it.
Maybe you both could
it's
go,
fine.
so you could watch each other's backs.
Yes, Ellie will watch my back fall right off the waterfall.
And catch you.
Uh-huh. Would you put yourself in that position?
I don't have a grappling hook.
Not good. 14.
Okay. Was Ailey going to fly up or anything as well?
Yep.
So you just fly up without him, or okay?
Well, you said I can lift Varys.
See, I wasn't implying that Ailey carry Varys. I was implying that Varys grappling hook up.
You could carry Varys if he wasn't wielding his massive heavy guns. Yeah. If Varys wasn't laden, an unladen Varys, you could carry.
His guns are just too impressive.
Yeah.
We will know this equation by the speed of an unladen Varys. Standard measurement unit.
Where did you get coconuts from? Anyway, okay, so Ailey, when you see him ready his grappling gun, are you going to just fly up with or without him, or are you going to wait for him to start?
I'm going to wait till he's gone up. Like once
Okay,
the grappling
cool.
gun is connected.
So you see you all stand and watch him, in awe of his this just his cool thing that he does. You see the grapple fly out, and it seems like it was going right into the waterfall, and should have like hooked something on that waterfall, but instead it seems to sail right through it and just keeps going. It reaches its max length, and it's still gone right through the waterfall and hasn't snagged on anything.
I reel it back in.
Ailey's like, exploring time! Exploring time! She will probably fly straight for that, because you know how easily distracted she is.
Okay, so you immediately fly into the waterfall, yeah?
Not into it, she'll fly to it, and try and stealth through a waterfall, which is probably hard to do, but it's her. So she's gonna try to do it.
Okay, roll a stealth check with disadvantage for me.
No, that's sneak attack. Alright, I'll go back to here. Oh, that was so close to a 1. Disadvantage.
Okay.
That's her trying to stealth fly through a waterfall.
Yeah, stealth flying through a waterfall.
She'll follow
Yeah.
where the hook went and
Yeah.
try to go up high, because she's like, if anything's in there, it's more likely to be on the ground, other than bats, which she likes. So,
Yeah.
you know, if she flies into a bat, she'll probably try to grab and hug it and be like,
Yeah.
cousin, or some
No
crap.
bets. No bets behind
Is
waterfalls.
as I reel it in, is the
Mhm.
grappling hook wet? Like it wasn't an illusion or anything, right?
Yeah, it's weird. No, it's for sure weird.
Mm.
Yeah. So as it's reeling through, you know, it's like
But there's way
pour-
more space than there should have been.
yeah, it's pouring off water as it's coming through.
Okay.
But yeah, you see it like, you know, taut rope directly go into the waterfall, and it's very clearly like straight through. Yeah, Ailey splashes through the waterfall. Ailey sees
Dragon Eyes see.
a cave on the other side of the waterfall that seems to lead right back up where, back up into the
But it's
mountain.
like dark, there's no torches, no signs
there's
of other
no-
people. Or
No
just
signs of any. Roll a. If you do a full-on investigation, roll an investigation for me.
Ooh.
Yeah, no. You
She's
don't
got
see.
water in her eyes.
Yeah, you don't see much of
She's like,
anything.
it's safe,
There's
everyone, come on in. She'll probably stick her head back out the waterfall.
Yeah,
and be like, "Come
splashing
on
all
in."
over. Come on in, it's great. All you're hearing is, come on, guys.
Okay.
How deep is the water below the waterfall? Can I tell?
From a quick look, because it's quite still from where even where the waterfall is hitting it, it's relatively still and clear. It's probably a good 60 to 80 feet deep at this point. It looks like it's like, it's definitely a good place to dive. But as Thrak said, undertow.
Certainly couldn't wander through it.
You could probably, because of the, so if you're just trying to get to the waterfall itself and to where Ailey is, you could probably walk along the side of the river up into and reach out to touch the waterfall, and then
right.
sort of walk,
Mm.
just wade a little bit up to where you're not really sure what's behind the waterfall, obviously, but you're gonna have to sort of wade a little bit till you get to it, and then past it. We'll just say we'll say for argument, Ailey does describe it properly to you, which is that that the cave seems to like cut right off where the waterfall is falling underneath it. So you would wade very small amount, and then step right up into the cave once you passed through the waterfall. Like it seems like it was designed this way, not natural, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it was a deliberate design choice rather than a naturally occurring cave.
Yes.
I will wander off toward Ailey.
Kiss, darling, would you like to go first?
Thrakus,
Sorry?
would you like to go first?
Not usually a situation where I go first.
Well, Ailey has already gone first.
In terms of people wading.
Yeah. I sort of squinted it. Can I take a sip of the water first? Make sure it doesn't taste funny. Suspicious.
Sure. Yeah, it's fresh water. Like crisp glacial ice water. Like it is, straight off the mountain. Literally.
Alright. I'll go in.
Cool. No problem wading through and getting into the cave. Yeah, as I said, it looks like a constructed entrance to something.
Yeah.
You don't really see the sign of anybody or anything, but from a glance, constructed entrance to something that has gone a little bit worn with time and has become more cave-like as to whatever it was in the past. But it's definitely not a natural formation.
Is there anywhere that I could stealth to?
Well, it does just continue off right in that direction. It gets it gets dark past your vision, the length of your vision, but it continues to go off in that direction. There's no, you could like stealth behind where it sort of turns a little bit here and there, to give yourself like a half cover sort of situation, but otherwise, you just see pitch black the further down you look.
Okay. I would like to cast Augury.
Okay.
I actually have to go, so can I leave in your capable hands?
Yes,
Skilly?
we are about to finish up once we've finished this augury, so.
Okay, alright.
Well, also made it complicated.
Yeah.
Alright.
Why is it rolling? What is it trying to roll? A D4.
Yeah.
Oh, right, because
Maybe it felt like it
it's
had
because
to roll.
it's for the 25% chance thing, is what it's saying.
Yeah. So mine isn't a good chance.
No. So that's there's a few cast it more than once.
Oh, okay, so it's
within,
fine.
Long rests. So so what were your planned course of action within the next 30 minutes? Just planning on going ahead, or?
Yeah. So, what would happen if we all of us together as a group decided to continue down this path?
Cool.
Into this cave.
All right. So you take your mostly fashioned image of Jamie, secretly, of course, holding it
in the palm of my hand.
In the palm of your hand. While you also collect up some of your finger bones and teeth, and really concentrate on those actions, as well as your faith in Jamie's ability to guide you. To everyone else, you sort of you lightly radiate purple light. It's mainly, it's mainly visible to those with dark vision, but they can really see that it's purple. For everyone else, you just sort of lightly glow, like sort of like bioluminescent in a sense. For everybody else, you shake them up and roll them out on the ground in front of you, and you get wheel and woe as your results.
Wheel and woe. Good and bad. Okay. So it sort of depends on how we go about it. It's a mixed bag, team.
Fair enough.
Kind of life, isn't it?
How deep does the water look for the wading part?
Well, it goes up to like the knees of Thrakus, and that you would, it would
It's
sink
like
you.
chest height for you.
Yeah, it would sink you a little bit, but with a hand, which is graciously offered, you are taken across.
Yes.
Oh dear, don't do that. Yeah, so everyone's in, no problems. Oh, Chelsea, no. Chelsea, no. I was about to finish.
We're finishing.
No, Chelsea. Anyway, everyone is loaded into the cave. Yeah, no one has any real problems getting in other than you, Varys, and Codswallop, but with assistance from everybody is a undoubtedly give you. It's no problem, Chelsea. You all make your way into the cave. I imagine Varys would use his light ring to light up what he can see. Joe would also light up as well, using his light cantrip at the same time, giving you a nice view of the cave that you're in. Yes, few stalactites. That's the one that comes down, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, the ones that come down. But otherwise, it's pretty well flat ground on the bottom. Yeah, and the walls themselves have like eroded and become that natural cave-like look, even though it's very clear this is not natural. But yeah, again, you know, the light only reaches so far, and the cave definitely extends beyond that.
Daunting.
So, what's the plan?
Onward and upward, I imagine.
Yep. Ailey will want to stealth until they get better vision, but otherwise,
Yeah.
they would definitely go ahead.
I'd want to keep an eye out for like markings on the wall and stuff.
Okay. So you roll an investigation for me, Ferris.
Ooh.
Fair.
Wish it had been one. It was a one. I re-roll it.
You really can't see. Are you gonna ask us to keep an eye out for things as well?
I would probably say that at the start. Just keep an eye out in case there's any identifying markings or features.
So you should probably.
Oh my lord!
After all of those rolls before, this time Ailey's like, all right, I got this.
Goodness
I
gracious.
got this. It's okay, Varys. I know you can't see in the dark. I'll do it.
Yeah,
I
it's
can't.
like literally
This
got
is
a
very
light.
true.
Got a light on his fist right now, like fucking Green Lantern. You're like, oh, you can't see in the dark.
Miniature
look
Green
at it.
Lantern. A tiny Ryan
A tiny Green Lantern. Yeah, and you sort of see. Actually, yeah, this would be perfect time for it. You see in the light that both you and Joe cast. You see Ailey's eyes. So normally they're fairly human looking. You know, as they were trying to pass off as a human. But there's like a sudden shift when you say keep an eye out. You see them go like reptilian, like slitted eyes. The irises go huge, and like they even sort of scale. Like instead of normal irises where they're like sort of splotchy, her irises become like overlaid scales in her eyes. Of that blue tone, as well as the rest of the scales shining in the light. You immediately get that deep set feeling of when you encounter a dragon.
Except for this is a very goofy dragon.
Yeah. You just can't. You can't help but feel like
dragon. That'd be fucking terrifying.
Yeah, you can't help but feel like it's well, no, it's like an evolutionary response, right? Like all of your ancestors have been absolutely terrified. Like primally terrified of dragons, and you feel it like just in your bones, like oh god.
Varys just pulls his coat a bit closer around himself.
Yeah. But Ailey, you scour the cave as you guys move forward a little bit. And you do find what seems to be cave markings of some sort in a language that you do not understand.
Yeah, because she has to hear it to.
Yeah, to use your circlet, you do have to hear it.
Who here can read?
Depends what language.
She's not gonna be.
Yeah, you just can read. Let's see who's got what.
Come look at the pretty pictures.
Will do.
No, and no. Cool. So none of you can read it.
Not even Enon? Dang.
No, not even Enon. But Joe walks up to it and says, "Well, this seems like we're on the right way, going the right way."
What does it say?
Well, it's a warning to say that there's dangers up ahead, but it's written for me, essentially, not specifically for me, but for people like me to understand, for people of my makers to understand.
It's written in your language?
Well, no, it's written in primordial.
Oh, I see.
But it's written in a way, in our code, as it were, to denote that. So something that only we would understand. Even if you did understand primordial, you wouldn't get this.
But it says that we're on the right path then?
Well, it says that
if we are facing danger.
It says that we are heading into danger, which is definitely the right way to go.
What kind of danger? Does it say there's a dragon ahead?
Not explicitly.
Oh.
But as we are going to the
falling rocks,
No, it seems more like
Goblins.
seems more like an industrial warning of some sort, like spill hazard, something like that.
Let's see.
Whatever.
So we should definitely have somebody with very good vision at the front.
Yes. Which will probably be well, perception.
Haley at the moment.
Perception, Varys is the best, but he can't see.
Can't see shit, Captain.
It is absolutely so funny that is the case.
I have the best vision out to 60 feet, and then I'm the worst.
Yeah. Oh, dear. All right. Well, yeah. That's probably where we're going to leave off for tonight. As you have entered the cave and found the warning sign. So, yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Actually, that's right. You've got crazy perception at the moment, don't you? Yeah, expertise in perception.
It'll be even better when we get the next one. It'll be +10.
Yeah, fucking ridiculous.
We gotta get him some like night vision goggles or something.
Yep. Yeah.
Some goggles of night, if you will.
Yes. With your passive perception,
Goggle the night.
once you guys have reached that sign, you do hear the tinkering of tools down the corridor, echoing down the cave, like either a metalworks or some sort of metal against metal, but not in a combat sense, echoing down the corridor.
Dwarves! Silly would know dwarves, right?
Yeah, Ailey would know of dwarves.
Just
All
because
of them.
somebody's doing some
All
stuff in a
of them know
cave
dwarves.
doesn't make them dwarves.
'Cause I would presume that would be one of the groups that Ailey's kind would have traded with.
Yeah, well, at this point, from natural perception, Varys is the only one that they would hear that.
Yeah.
So if Varys wanted to,
I would point that out to the others.
Okay.
Yeah,
well then,
Ailey's definitely young.
Ailey
I
would-
hear
Ailey, can you roll a history check for me, please?
metal work up ahead.
I'd assume it would be constructs with the sign and all.
Given that we're
Ailey
meant
would
to be
still
heading
think
towards them.
dwarves.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
think it's dwarves.
you
But
know, dwarves are in mountains and stuff. Could be.
hey, there's metal.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway, we will find out next week.
Yeah.
Is it in like Haroga and all that?
Hmm?
Run into a few dwarves, right?
Yes, dwarves do live
Mhm.
here.
We've killed a few dwarves.
We have killed a few dwarves.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yep,
But yeah.
and the gun merchant and Argo. He was a dwarf.
Yes. Yeah. So we will see. We will see. It is going to be exciting. I guarantee it. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, da, ba, ba. What am I doing? How do I end these things? It's been a long time. It hasn't really. Anyway,
What's happened the rest of the week, Skelly?
I'm just really tired. It has been a long
That's
week.
fair.
Tomorrow and Saturday. Tomorrow and Saturday, here on the channel, Random Guy will be back playing more Klonoa. I think it's going to be the last couple of streams, and he's going to be back on his old bullshit, playing playing Horizon and Shenmue. So make sure you're there to finish up those. Sunday, Beef will be back for his second to last stream for his vacation, which will be more of that Chicken Police game. Monday, me, Pyro, Vertigo, and Nine will be back.
Fine.
Yeah, Vertigo and Nine will be back with more Divinity Original Sin 2. Tuesday, Beef's last stream for the month, I believe. Pretty sure that was what he said. Man, time is just a thing. Either way, Beef will be back with more Chicken Police, so check that out. Yes, that will be the case on next Tuesday. So, yeah. And then Wednesday, we'll be back for probably more Space Hulk. And then Thursday next week, we'll find out what is in the cave. Yeah. Cool. Thanks everybody for joining us. We will see you all next time. Bye-bye.